Adventures of Gummy Bears. Okay, technically I'm gonna probably review like 4 different shows. This is gonna be a pretty simple one. Gummy bears are these interesting bears that have been around since the 80s. Sammy, Sunny, Lumpy, me, Grammy, and Suzo, which is the wizard. Okay, I might have gotten most of their names wrong, but to make this pretty simple, well, the Gummy Bears have been around since 1988, or from its own storybook of 1987 toward 1989 toward 1990, and they are called the Gummy Bears and they live in the Dark Ages. Only a few humans that only know them. One exists as Calvin, a young boy named Knight, and a princess, Azaria. One second. I have to type down his name. Okay, besides the kids, there's the evil Duke and his henchmen are goblins. Calvin is a young, brilliant night boy that wants to become a heroic knight someday and falls in love with a princess. And to save the entire kingdom from the evil Duke himself with his minions. But fun fact is the same voice actor I just talked about yesterday about the Fluffy Dogs short movie. Sorry, the controller kind of sucks here. But his full name is Duke Orthan. And with his little henchman, Tordwarf, a little goblin that's not that bright, next to his other ogres. And this guy is truly evil and wants to take over the entire kingdom. But the Gummy Bears always seem to outwit his evil plans every time. But when he's not the only villain, there's other interesting, weird characters in the show. Besides the Gummy Bears themselves, there's other characters that have encounters of other adventures. You hear that classic opening theme song, They Are the Gummy Bears. This one is a very quick one for me to explain. Gummy bears have like interesting adventures. It's a thrilling show, nonetheless. It's actually pretty good. It's exciting. It has brilliant amounts of characters and lots of interesting backgrounds and beautiful soundtrack. I'm not allowed to show clips of the show. I don't want to get copyrighted by YouTube. It's product ideas. But I'll show you just plain the images of the characters from the show. And the Gummy Bears themselves have lots of merchandise of toys of them, which is really awesome. All I can say is the Gummy Bears is a pretty friendly adventure show. Oh, and you'll actually like it more back then that you have. It's a friendly, good time. And to watch some old classic shows like that. Now next is another short or animated series that did not catch on. One is the Wuzzles, which only lasted for 13 episodes. And most likely did a standard reboot that nobody knows existed. The Wuzzles only started in 1985 toward 1986. that these wuzzles are anthropomorphic animals. Elephant, lion, a bear, seal, and a monkey with a rhino. I might have reviewed this before already, but I'm pretty sure I just showed one clip of one episode. The wuzzles are these strange creatures. Some parts kangaroo, elephant, and blah 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 blah. Let me just go ahead and type down their names. Because it's been such a long time since I've known them. It just has some strange anthropomorphic animals. There's lots of their so-called characteristics. Bumblebee, which is a lion. Blah 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 blah. Let's just say that the Wuzzles only had like a short amount of time of series, 13 episodes, and a little bit of history of them being most likely famous shows. Let's see. There's a little bit of this. Oh, here it is. Brother Bear, Humble Lion, Kangaroo, has a shiny big elephant, Uso, which is the genius part and being a bit of a coward and takes things up. Humble Infant, who likes being like a movie star and all that. Comes up making jokes. Nosaurus, which is part crocodile, part a dinosaur, along with laggy henchmen, doing the dirty work for him. In our words, The Wuzzles is an interesting show. It's wacky, it's silly, it's weird, it's funny, it's one of the strangest shows you'll ever lay your eyes on. The product placement of Toys of Them. The show that was released in 1980s only lasted for a short amount of time of some cracking jokes and strange things happening to them. And strange morphic animals. What I'm trying to explain is, if those of you watch The Wuzzles before, you'll know you're in store with some strange adventures. And this is another show that only lasted for like a short amount of time. Disney's highly development of doing a few episodes. Alright, next is one of my most favorite shows of all time, which I swear I might have done before or not. A classic theme music you've probably heard before. Oreo, tailspin, Oreo, tailspin. Yep, only the main conclusion is Baloo from the Jungle Book, where Mowgli's nowhere to be seen, except for like a few characters like Bluey, also from the Jungle Book, and Shere Khan, or he's called in the show Mr. Khan, who's a businessman in the show, where Baloo is a pilot, and it meets interesting characters like Cloud Kid and Molly, which is the daughter to Rebecca Cunningham, in a place called Hire for Hire, which takes place in the 1910s or 20s. These have friendly adventures, facing the main villain of the series, Don Carnage, voiced by the legendary Jim Cummings. Which, believe it or not, that Jim Cummings has been voicing a lot of characters since the early 80s and 90s, along with his main evil pirate games. Oh, sorry, you have to see that. So Charles Adler voice is. That's one of the pirates, the one of the holes. That dog himself. Oh, and Chuck the Con, which is a big tall pirate dog there, which I best know him as one of the Beagle Boys from DuckTales. Looks like they want to take over Cape Suzette. But luckily Blue has lots of friends, including Wildcat himself, who's not really smart, but he's part lion and built stuff and not very clever. But whenever Blue slacks off from his job, he has to take orders from Rebecca Cunningham. And they go up in these wild and crazy adventures, just together with Clown Kid or by himself. And Baloo himself has a friendly good time in adventuring these amazing places. Also, every time they ever bring back multi-great Talespin characters, as in a reboot of DuckTales, also not bringing back Baloo, but only Clown Kid as a full-grown adult, and Rebecca Cunningham's young daughter Molly is a teenage girl. I used to watch Tailspin a lot more as a kid back then, and I still watch it as every day in a few episodes. The show started in 1990 in September and lasted until 1991 of only 80 episodes. And so it lasted for like 3 or 4 seasons. And most likely video games. What you see right there is the Sega Genesis, the NES I showed you before, and the other one I have not shown you is the Game Boy.